Once upon a time in a big sunny wood, where the trees stretched tall and the sunlight danced through the leaves, there was a world full of wonder and secrets waiting to be discovered. In this magical place lived a little girl named Goldilocks, who was as bright and lively as the morning sun itself. Her hair was shiny gold, bouncing in soft, playful curls as she skipped and giggled through the forest paths, her laughter echoing like music among the trees. Goldilocks loved to chase butterflies, watch the birds flutter from branch to branch, and listen to the gentle rustle of the leaves above her head. Goldilocks was curious. She wanted to know everything. What do squirrels eat? Why are bluebells blue? How do the ants find their way home? Her mind buzzed with questions, each one more exciting than the last, and she was always eager to find the answers herself. One bright morning, with the sun shining and the birds singing, she put on her favorite red exploring shoes, the ones that made her feel brave and ready for anything. "Let's go exploring," she said with a grin, and off she skipped into the deep, whispering woods, her heart full of excitement and her eyes wide with wonder. Along a twisty, winding path, she spotted something she had never seen before: a tiny, cute cottage with a bright blue door nestled between the trees like a secret waiting to be found. Smoke puffed from the chimney, curling into the sky, and the windows looked like happy, smiling faces, as if the house itself was inviting her in. "Ooh, who lives here? I must find out!" she gasped, her curiosity growing even bigger. Without a moment's hesitation, Goldilocks tiptoed up to the door and, without knocking, pushed it open. Creak! The sound echoed softly in the quiet woods. She peeked inside. The cottage seemed empty, but it glowed with a warm golden light and smelled of sweet porridge and cozy fires, making her feel safe and welcome. Her exploring shoes had led her somewhere wonderful, a place full of new mysteries and adventures just waiting for her to discover. Goldilocks was far too curious to stop now. With a deep breath and a twinkle in her eye, she stepped further inside, ready to see what surprises this magical cottage might hold. Nestled deep in the heart of a sun-dappled forest, there stood a charming little cottage. This was no ordinary house. It was the warm and welcoming home of the bear family: Daddy Bear, Mummy Bear, and their playful little baby bear. The three bears lived together in perfect harmony, always looking out for one another and sharing every moment with laughter and love. One bright morning, the bear family gathered around their kitchen table for breakfast. But today, they were very sleepy, rubbing their eyes and yawning, because their delicious porridge was far too hot to eat. "My porridge is much too hot," boomed Daddy Bear, fanning his mouth and looking at his steaming bowl. "Oh dear, so is mine," said Mummy Bear, peering at her own breakfast with a worried expression. "Too hot," squeaked Baby Bear, his eyes wide as he watched the steam curl up from his bowl. Being sensible bears, they decided it was best to let their porridge cool down. So they put on their shoes and decided to take a stroll through the peaceful woods while they waited. Stomp, stomp, stomp went Daddy Bear's big boots as he led the way down the leafy path. Patter, patter, patter went Mummy Bear's dainty shoes as she followed close behind. And puddle stomp, went Baby Bear's bright red wellies as he gleefully jumped in every puddle he could find. Before leaving, they left the cottage door ajar, letting the fresh morning air drift inside and fill their home with the scent of pine and wildflowers. Inside, the cottage was a true bear-sized paradise, cozy, colorful, and filled with all the things the bear family loved most. There were 3 comfy chairs, a big sturdy table for family meals, and a crackling fire that kept the whole room warm and toasty, even on the chilliest mornings. On the wall hung a happy family photo, showing the 3 bears smiling together on a sunny day, a reminder of all their wonderful times. The cottage was always filled with love, laughter, and the gentle sounds of the forest outside. But just beyond the trees, someone else was nearby. Goldilocks, a curious little girl with golden curls, was wandering through the woods and spotted the colorful cottage. She didn't know it was a bear's home. She just saw a new and exciting place to explore, her eyes wide with wonder. Without a second thought, Goldilocks tiptoed up to the open door, peeked inside, and before she knew it, she was already exploring the bear's cozy cottage, completely unaware of the adventure that was about to unfold. Goldilocks wandered into the cozy kitchen and her eyes widened in delight. There, on the table, were 3 inviting bowls of porridge, a big one, a middle one, and a wee little one, each steaming gently in the morning light. The delicious smell filled the air, making her mouth water and her curiosity grow even stronger. The smallest bowl, decorated with cheerful blue spots, looked especially tempting, as if it was waiting just for her. Her tummy gave a loud rumble. "Porridge! My favorite breakfast!" she whispered, unable to resist the delicious aroma any longer. Eagerly, she picked up a spoon and tried the big bowl first. Ouch! It was much too hot, and she quickly fanned her mouth, hoping the heat would fade. Next, she tasted the porridge in the middle-sized bowl. Brrr! It was far too cold, sending a shiver down her spine. Finally, she turned to the wee little bowl with its charming blue spots. It looked just right, and she hoped it would taste perfect too. She took a careful spoonful. The porridge was not too hot, not too cold, but just right. Goldilocks beamed with happiness as she enjoyed every bite. She ate every last spoonful until the little bowl was completely empty, feeling warm and satisfied inside. Goldilocks' curiosity was satisfied for the moment, but she had forgotten all about her manners. She hadn't even thought to ask if she could have some. She didn't stop to wonder whose breakfast she'd eaten or if anyone would miss it. Instead, her eyes sparkled with excitement as she looked around the charming cottage, eager to see what other surprises it might hold. The cottage felt so warm and welcoming, with its crackling fireplace and soft chairs, that Goldilocks felt as if she belonged there. But deep down, she knew she was a guest who hadn't been invited, and that made her feel just a little bit guilty. Goldilocks wiped her mouth with a napkin, smiled to herself, and decided she was ready for more adventure in this magical place. That's when she noticed 3 chairs by the fire, each a different size, lined up in a neat row. Time to rest, she thought, her eyes twinkling with mischief. She didn't ask permission. She was too curious to wait. Goldilocks just wanted to find the comfiest seat in the house, and she was determined to try them all until she found the perfect one. Goldilocks tried Daddy Bear's big chair. Too hard. She climbed up, but it felt like sitting on a rock. Next, Mummy Bear's middle-sized chair. Too soft. She sank into the cushions and nearly disappeared. Finally, Baby Bear's wee little red rocking chair. It was just right. Perfect size, perfect comfort. She rocked back and forth giggling, but she rocked too hard. Crack! The little chair broke into pieces. "Oops," she said, sitting on the floor. Goldilocks felt a bit guilty, but her curiosity pushed her on. She noticed a staircase. "I wonder what's up there," she thought. Without thinking, she tiptoed upstairs. She was tired from all her exploring. Maybe she'd find a place to nap. Upstairs, Goldilocks found 3 beds, a big one, a middle one, and a wee little one. She tried Daddy Bear's bed. Too hard. She tried Mummy Bear's bed. Too soft. Then she saw Baby Bear's bed with a blue blanket and a small pillow. She climbed in, snuggled under the blanket, and sighed. Ah, just right. Goldilocks closed her eyes and quickly fell asleep. Downstairs, the cottage was quiet, but the 3 bears were on their way home. They were hungry and ready for breakfast. They opened the door and stepped inside. Something felt different. Daddy Bear saw his bowl. "Someone's been eating my porridge." Mummy Bear saw hers. "Someone's been eating my porridge." Baby Bear saw his. "Someone's been eating my porridge and it's all gone." The bears looked around, puzzled and worried. The bears noticed their chairs. "Daddy Bear, someone's been sitting in my chair." "Mummy Bear, someone's been sitting in my chair." "Baby Bear, someone's been sitting in my chair, and it's broken." Now they were sure someone was in their house. Quietly, they crept upstairs. "Daddy Bear, someone's been sleeping in my bed." "Mummy Bear, someone's been sleeping in my bed." "Baby Bear, someone's been sleeping in my bed, and here she is." Goldilocks woke up to see 3 bears staring at her. She jumped out of bed, dashed past the surprised bears, and ran out the door. She didn't stop until she was safely home. Goldilocks never forgot her adventure. Goldilocks learned something important that day. You can't just go into someone's house without asking. You can't eat their food or use their things without permission. It isn't kind, and it isn't polite. From then on, Goldilocks always remembered the three bears. She knocked on doors and asked before exploring. She used her best manners every time. The bears forgave her, and the woods were peaceful again. Goldilocks' curiosity stayed, but now it was guided by kindness. And that, everyone agrees, is a lesson that's always just right. The end. Fade out.